To discuss the release of the girls and the struggle for all persons still in captivity, I'm now being joined on the news at 10 by the chairperson, Bring Back Our Girls group, Florence Ozo, and she's in Abuja. Thanks for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you, Jama, for having me.
Yeah, condolences to those who've lost their daughters, even as we celebrate those who are fortunate to be free. But what's the mood of members of your group right now that the girls are back?
Well, we are very much beyond relief. And we're excited that the parents of the Dapchi girls can, for the next few years of their lives, be able to hold their daughters back in their arms. We're so glad that this has happened exactly a month after the tragedy of the abduction, avoidable tragedy of the abduction, had taken place. So the feeling in the movement is that of gratefulness to God, that this tragedy has come to an end for the Dapchi parents, and that we are not going down the long journey as we have continued to be on the path for the Chibok girls.
But even as we celebrate those who have returned, safe, some critics say that what we should really be looking at is the fact that the abduction was successful for a second time. What lessons do you think we should learn? Are you thinking along those lines as well?
Well, I think for the federal government, the abduction should never have taken place. So I'm a bit weary where people are commending the federal government. You do not accord a man success for an avoidable tragedy. We should have learned from the 2014 abduction. Under the Jonathan administration, they failed because they did not take any action when the abduction was reported. For the Buhari administration, he has failed for even allowing it to happen. I do hope very strongly that this will be the last of such tragedies that will happen in our country, and that children can at least go to school without fear that they will be taken by terrorists.
And to the parents of the Chibok girls, because I know that your group also agitates for others who are missing in this particular insurgency. To the parents who may be watching you tonight, what message do you have for them and for the government for their girls to come home?
For the parents of the Chibok girls, I would say to them that they should keep hope alive, they should stay strong, and have faith that their children will be returned back to them. And for the federal government, we would not be overreaching our expectations if we asked the federal government to wave the same magic wand it had done in the Dapchi girls for the Chibok girls.
All right, Chairperson, Bring Back Our Girls group, Florence Ozo. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10 tonight.